up, y'all? What's up? What's up? What's up? Welcome to the program, Millie. It's me, Kim Breezy. Can you see me? Am I live to you right now? Thank you all so much. Sorry for the delay, everybody. We had some arrangements to take care of here on the back end. You know, I'm very busy. You know what I'm saying? Very important things being discussed. So thanks all for your patience. I got a decent show for y'all today. Brother Will's not available to push the buttons tonight, so I may have to tag in Brother Latif. Latif is getting proficient with this button pushing here on the back end, so y'all stand by. We're going to get into that, but I appreciate you guys taking some time to join me. So, definitely no shortage of things to get into, and you know, if you saw my thumbnail, ooh, don't matter. I'm trying to detangle my hair. I think I'm ready to lock it up, y'all. What do y'all think? If you saw the thumbnail, because Molly is fucking Rembrandt out this bitch. At least she's nice with the AI. And Stephen Miller and the Trump administration claim that they are the most hardcore. Okay. And they are sick of the bullshit. Now, apparently, they are not sick of the pedophiles because there seems to be an unending carousel of PDF files, not only right there in Trump's fucking orbit, which, okay, but over on that side of the political aisle, so to speak. And I understand that, you know, people that are PDF files are not limited to any specific political ideology. They are not limited to race. They are not limited to nationality, ethnic origin, etc., etc. But it just so seems, it just seems that a particular demographic keeps doing PDF file shit. And it's like, is everything okay at home? And hush, because I already know the answer. Things are not okay at home. in the white nuclear American family household. No, shit is not okay, because we are seeing what you are producing and putting out here, rather unleashing upon the rest of society. And it's not cute. It's not safe even, right? There's a lot of shit going on. But hold on, y'all. I want y'all, before we get into my story, I just want to welcome everybody. And I want to lead off with a story that I am deeply fascinated by. And that is the stabbing of Mark Sanchez. and that is the stabbing of former NFL quarterback and Fox football commentator Mark Sanchez. Now, y'all, at first, you know, hold on. In case you did not hear, over the weekend in Indianapolis, Mark Sanchez allegedly got into a confrontation with a delivery driver. Apparently, there is extensive surveillance video of this altercation. Mark Sanchez ended up sliced up. Shout out to all my Outcast fans that under that two niggas just got hauled off in an ambulance, sliced up. They just hauled off Mark Sanchez in the ambulance, sliced up, just like some Spodio Dobalicious, sliced up. Mark Sanchez is what they called him when he played for the Washington football team. They called him Sanchez for a second. Mark Sanchez apparently was out here running his mouth. 38-year-old Mark Sanchez running his mouth and getting very physical, allegedly attacking and or initiating physical contact with a 69-year-old delivery driver. Police reports say that Sanchez was pepper sprayed rather by the delivery driver, and then Sanchez came back for more, wanted more with the 69-year-old man. The 38-year-old Mark Sanchez said, "No, I didn't beat this old man enough. Come here, old man. I got something for you." And little did he know that the old man had something for him. And Sanchez caught it to the gullet. I don't know what happened to Sanchez, but they took him to the hospital. And I think he's still in the fucking hospital. Oh boy, the elder fucked up Mark Sanchez. Hmm. 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 So now Indianapolis police have charged Mark Sanchez with a number of offenses, including public intoxication, I believe. See, he out there drunk, fucked up off that liquid courage, thought he could pick on this older guy, and that would be that. Now, from what I understood, and I should have looked at the Indy Star piece, I wasn't trying to necessarily seek out pictures of this elder person injured, which apparently, according to reports, the 69-year-old victim was visibly injured. He had a laceration to his face. But I don't know what the race of this person is. And people are like, Kim, why does it matter? Mark Sanchez was beating up on an old person. It does matter because there are, in our racial hierarchy in America, some people are looked at as human and some are not, right? Black people usually are not given the consideration of human, regardless if it's child, if it's woman, if it's old person, right? Like people who feel or who are agents in their own right of white supremacy won't look at an elder black person and think, hey, maybe I shouldn't put my hands on this on this old man in this case, right? So I am curious as to what the race of this person is. I mean, shit, Mark Sanchez might have been beating up on old white men out here. I doubt it. Not impossible, but I doubt it. It's not impossible, but I doubt it. And I went to look up Mark Sanchez's, his ethnic origin. He was born in Long Beach, California. But I'm like, is Sanchez a MAGA Mexican? Is he Cuban B? Well, like, because apparently Sanchez is big time MAGA, right? So, my empathy immediately stopped short with this nigga. Like, oh, he got fucked up for popping off at the mouth. I feel sorry for his mother. What kind of MAGA is Sanchez? Latinos for Trump out this bitch. I bet you Mark Sanchez is one of them non-Spanish speaking Latinos. And the only Spanish this nigga know is I will vote yo boy votar. I will vote what for Donald Trump. That was the only Spanish Sanchez knows, my guess anyway. I am fascinated by this story. Maybe I shouldn't be. But I love the fact that the guilty aggressor has been apprehended and summarily charged by law enforcement. And it seems in this instance, somehow, maybe the cops got it right. Whoa. But if they're, unfortunately, people have to work up until elderly age in America. It is a shit system. Make no mistake about it. In fact, Trump and his cronies are proposing raising the retirement age or the age to collect Social Security. Gen X, doesn't that sound like fun? Aren't you guys excited? Boomers, oh, you thought you were retired? No. Trump says retire for what? You'll retire when you're dead. But my point is the 69-year-old victim of Mark Sanchez's alleged physical attack, why were they out there driving a truck at midnight? By the way, according to the reports that I saw, this man was part of a restaurant cooking oil recycling program, or that's who we work for, a company that drove around to the different restaurants and collected the kitchen cooking oil. And then I'm like, that doesn't sound like an easy job. that sounds maybe like it's, a little physically demanding on the 69-year-old. And then here come this fucking dipshit, I'm guessing multimillionaire Mark Sanchez, 38 years old. And yeah, I know he played pro football and he might be like the glass man out here. What was the nigga named Powder? What was them movies and them 2000s movies that I didn't like and I didn't watch, but the nigga was made out of glass. Yeah, Sanchez might be that. Well, if that's the case, then Sanchez needs to keep his fucking mouth shut out here in these streets. If you beat up and brittle from being an NFL veteran, then maybe you might want to shut the fuck up, or else somebody got that poker on them. And let this be a reminder to us all. please go get your pokers. Please and thank you. And try them out. Make sure they fit good in your hand. All pokers are not created equal. Okay. Make sure you get your something. Now you see the elder pulled out the pepper spray on Sanchez. A temporary solution, momentary solution. But if your attacker is so motivated and maybe so drunk or perhaps inebriated off some other chemical substances, your little chemical munitions may not work on them. So what worked? now this happened in Indianapolis, right? I'm assuming it could have went click clack. You know what I mean? I don't know if Shirley still fuck with a Charlie. The shit could have went click clack in Indianapolis very easily. And to be honest, I don't specifically know what the laws are in Indiana. I'm assuming it's a stand your ground state or something very close. 69-year-old man can absolutely claim that they felt as though their life was in danger from a drunk, large, athletic person physically attacking them. Sanchez is lucky the shit didn't go click clack, but it did go poke poke. Carry my, know you carry my poker face. We will jab you in the gutter. Oh, I'm sorry. That's a bad remix. I'll work on that. What did we learn, everybody? Go get your pokers. If not your click clacks, but definitely go get your pokers. The pokers are a good way to get a sucker up off of you, especially if you know them soft spots to hit. And ladies, I don't even need to say it. I don't even need to tell you where to stab. Let you be on the receiving end of a physical attack by some larger male. I don't even need to tell you where to stab. either in the nectical area or in the crotchetal area. Like, take your pick, in the nectical or the crotchetical. Okay, but ain't no flesh wounds, ain't no get nice with that shit. God damn it. One of our fire famers told us way back in the day that they were training their infant on knife fighting using the plastic cutlery that you get from the takeout. I said, fucking brilliant idea. You need to train with the pokers, use the fucking takeout cutlery. And you and your homies figure it out. You know what I'm saying? Y'all figure it out. So anyway, awesome. Take your time. Take your time. I appreciate you guys. Come on in here. Who's sending Mark Sanchez get well soon cards? Raise your hands. Y'all know MAGA was all in the incorrect direction. MAGA had came to the wrong conclusion on this Mark Sanchez attack. Indianapolis doesn't feel safe anymore. Where are all the parents of these fatherless children? I said, I didn't know Mark Sanchez's daddy wasn't there for him. Go on, MAGA person. Tell me again about the demographic you perceive to have committed this attack on Mark Sanchez, as though Mark Sanchez could not have been the aggressor. See, again, doof butts don't be paying attention to who is out here causing people harm. And if you knew anything about any fucking thing, you would know that out of all the professional sports, it is football players that are quite dangerous. Yes. They do bad things with their hands. Yes. No. I hope the long arm of the law reach out and touch Mark Sanchez. If not, the short poker of my man's. the short blade of that gallant hero, that 69-year-old truck driver working at midnight, who had to deal with some rich, entitled fucking dipshit about a parking space. Mark Sanchez got the day that he deserved. Anyway, do me a favor. Y'all give it up for Latif. Latif is going to push some buttons So Latif, if you can get in the private chat, brother will drop the YouTube link, or if you are able to find the YouTube link, because guys, there's so much news out here percolating constantly. If you were my woman, I would make love to you constantly. Victor St. Jock from Eddie Murphy Raw, but y'all babies, y'all don't know about that shit. But the story about one of Trump's homies, not like his homie bro relationship with Jeffrey Epstein. Clearly Epstein, a Trump homie, another Trump homie, another Trump homie, just convicted on what you say. If you said pedophilia, you'd be correct. I think the actual charge was lewd and lascivious acts with a child. And this guy was Trump's mans. Okay. Trump give that nigga a shout out to KKK. Caroline said it was a travesty of justice that the judicial system got it wrong. They didn't say that from the White House. You know why? Because they know what's up. They know the kind of people that Trump run with. And at some point, I don't need. It'd be nice if these MAGA motherfuckers would finally wake up, peep game, and understand they've been attempting to ride the coattails of somebody who at minimum kicks it with pedophiles. Okay, let's assume for a second Trump himself is not the actual pedophile. He probably is. But even if you think that he is not out here or was never out here dealing with underage girls, why does he kick it with all the pedophiles? Like, why all these his friends? Why are all these his buddies? Why are all these people he elects to do business with and vacation with and make deals with? I mean, I know why, and I know my viewers know why. We may get some scragglers in here that like to play obtuse. They still in the MAGA cult, which is fine. Be in your cult, but know what you are worshiping. Okay, make no mistake about it. So, I actually wanted to kick off. I have a couple clips here. Thank you all so much for joining me. Brother Latif, are you ready to push a button or free? All right. So we're going to run that one third. Yes, please. Y'all give it up for Latif. Latif is out here helping. the mod supreme out here. This is elite level modding. I got this nigga ear doctoring and modding. Ear doctor could never. Well, but Latif doesn't DJ, so maybe everybody has their lane. Yes. So let me know you. So you got it queued. Let me know when you're ready. Wait, hold on. Oh, what you got? So I wanted to set this up for y'all real quick because, again, if you go to my thumbnail, by the way, welcome to Burn It Down with Kim Brown. This is the Tuesday edition. We do this Tuesdays, Fridays, 7 p.m. And you guys, MAGA Nation is going hardcore. But the problem is they're going hardcore not only on cities with significant Black and brown populations, but the dumb fucks are going hard on each other, and I need them to understand what's going on. But I don't know if you guys saw this clip from Stephen Miller, and I don't know if Stephen Miller himself is on the roids. His head shape would denote possible steroid use, but the rest of his body does not denote steroid use. But the head, I mean, my gosh, look at this man's face and you will understand his anger. Okay, like look at how the chromosomes are aligned on his actual face. Okay, and then the anger and the indignation and the fury will all make sense because, bitch, if I looked like that, I too would be furious. But this is Stephen Miller. I think he's at the Klan rally, and I think he's actually giving a pep talk to the other Klansmen who have assembled for the Klan meeting. I don't. Is there another kind of meeting? amongst these people who wear these kinds of uniforms and outfits. Klan meeting, that's what I said. So Stephen Miller giving a rousing speech, almost like motherfucking what was the nigga? Mel Gibson for Braveheart. He's out here giving his fellow clans people the Braveheart speech out this bitch. So let's go ahead and check out Stephen Miller in Memphis, promising to be more hardcore than everybody else. Of course, we know this. Let's go.
The United States of America, and all that bullshit is done. It's over. It's finished. You know, the gangbangers that you deal with, they think that they're ruthless. They have no idea how ruthless we are. They think they're tough. They have no idea how tough we are. They think that they're hardcore. We are so much more hardcore than they are. And we have the entire weight of the United States government behind us. What do they have? They have nothing behind them. So we are going to win. They are going to lose. We are going to rescue Memphis.
First of all, Stephen Miller, you're not hardcore unless you live hardcore. Okay. Oh, but the legend of the rent was way hardcore. Yeah. First of all, you're not hardcore unless you live hardcore. And nigga, you are not fucking hardcore. By the way, though, I have to say, I love the way members of the Trump administration continually remind us that nobody in this fucking country knows fuck all about American history, okay? Because when Stephen Miller guarantees that we have no idea how hardcore they are, no, sir, we remember the Red Summer of 1919. We remember the thousands of people whose bodies swung from trees like strange fruit. Pretty much throughout the entire existence of this country, we know what breeding houses were on slave quarters. We know. What you mean? We don't know how hard. No, bitch, you don't know how fucking hardcore. By the way, as a set aside, quickly, when I heard Stephen Miller said that, I was reminded of Pete Hegseth, the Secretary of War, another steroid user and abuser. Hegseth recently reinstated or approved the medals for the U.S., I think it was Army soldiers, cavalry soldiers who slaughtered Native Americans at, I can't even call it the Battle of Wounded Knee because there was no battle about it. They unleashed automatic artillery against defenseless women and children and slaughtered people by the hundreds and put them in mass graves. Damn, what? That sounds familiar on something about today and the slaughtering of women and children and putting them in mass graves. Why does that sound? Definitely not the first time I've heard that, huh? Definitely not the first time I've heard that. Anyway, maybe I'll put my finger on it. So Hegseth, Keg's breath, gave these soldiers who committed this mass slaughter of indigenous people. I'm sorry. I apologize because I forgot which nation it was. If our indigenous people can chime in. I don't think it was Cherokee Nation. I want to say it was Sioux, but it was a slaughter. And Pete Hegseth said that these soldiers should be remembered for their bravery and for their contribution and their valor for this country. And that is exactly what Stephen Miller and Donald Trump and the rest of these clans people, that is the America that they aspire to be able to unleash violence upon us, either state violence, vigilante, militia violence, so long as it's being dispensed by white nationalists, doesn't matter. It does not matter. But who I wish they would dispense the real violence would be upon their own folks, and the most dangerous of their own folks. And I think we can all agree that those that prey upon and harm children are absolutely irredeemable, the lowest of the low. There's I don't think there should be trials for people with multiple confirmed accusations of child predation and or child raping, right? Thank you so much. It was the Lakota Sioux. Appreciate that. I knew I had Sioux in my heart. I knew that, but thank you for the folks that did that. So anyway, a bit of a slip of the lip came from Texas Senator Ted Cruz. I hope you guys saw this clip, and again, it's just a clip. But I said, "Oh, well, lay it out plain for us, Teddy boy." I'm sorry, Raphael. we appreciate your honesty. So go ahead, Latifah, run that Ted Cruz clip, please.
Partisan agreement. How about we? Senator Booker also said we should have bipartisan agreement. I think that's a great idea. We should have bipartisan agreement. How about we all come together and say, let's stop murders? How about we all come together and say, let's stop rape? How about we all come together and say, let's stop attacking pedophiles?
And to be clear, for those that might be like, oh, well, Kim, you took that clip out of context. He came back and cleaned it up. No, the fuck he didn't. I watched that shit. He didn't stop. He didn't say I misspoke. He didn't say, I'm sorry, I didn't mean, that's not what I meant to say. What I meant to say was we should, I don't even know what he could have meant to say, to be honest. Like, where was the error in the word arrangement in stop attacking pedophiles? Like, what could he have intended to said instead of? And I love this for him. So I don't know if Ted Cruz himself, again, like Trump, even though I do have my, the Trump gives me the ick. Okay, like it gives creep. It gives leering at 12 and 13-year-old girls. That's what it absolutely gives from Donald Trump. Ted Cruz, it gives that too. It definitely gives. Now, I'm not saying Ted Cruz has a thing for underage girls. What I'm saying is he said out of his mouth, stop attacking pedophiles, and he didn't correct it in that instance during the course of his little tirade that he was giving from the Senate, right? Why would he say stop attacking pedophiles? Well, because he knows that if we were to stop attacking pedophiles, then maybe members of the Republican and conservative base can just relax. maybe they have been under stress because they are concerned that they, as PDF files, are at risk for being attacked. And you know the position of this platform. We support attacking PDF files, okay? In the streets, in the jails, don't matter, don't care. Get them. If you can get one, get them. If you can get more, get all of them, right? We don't have a problem with PDF files being attacked over here. We encourage it. We support that kind of carrying on and protection of the community. I digress. So next we're going to cue up that YouTube video, Brother Latif. So let's get that one ready to rock and roll, because when Ted Cruz says stop attacking pedophiles, I guess he means stop attacking people that are close associates of the sitting president. Now, in spite of many calling for the release of the Epstein files, doesn't look like Trump is interested in what you niggas got to say about the Epstein files. Trump said no, and the answer is no. Okay? Ain't shit to see there except a bunch of redacted shit that ain't none of y'all motherfuckers' business, okay? He didn't know Jeffrey Epstein like that. They wasn't really cool. They just kicked it a little bit. They played a little tennis, and that's it, okay? Gosh, that shit was like so long ago. But anyway, I'm about to play you guys a clip here from June of 2020, okay? Oh, you're good. Donald Trump is in Spring, Texas, a Houston suburb, and he's visiting a place called the Gateway Church. The Gateway Church apparently is a big fucking church, mega church, white folks mega church. It gives Osteen levels of white folks churchy, okay? And apparently the founder, and at this point in time, June 2020, the chief pastor, I don't know what the fuck this nigga's title was. His name is Robert Morris. And Robert Morris was considered to be a spiritual advisor of Donald Trump, which is hilarity in its phrasing, because Trump is a demon. Okay, what spiritual advice does he need? Okay, hold on. It's playing right now. So hold on. You good. So that sounds good. That sounds great, actually. So we're gonna pick it up from there. Brother Latif has got the clip queued up. So this is from June 2025. Now I'm gonna give you guys oh god damn it. See, I done gave away my game.
Some great
Wait, you gotta
friends. I wanna
pause
thank
it.
you all
It's
for
playing
being
right
here.
now.
Faith leaders.
So my game was this. Now I didn't gave the answer away, but guess what? But that's all right, because there may be multiple answers. Y'all don't fucking know. So anyway, Trump is at this people's church, and he is about to be on stage with a convicted pedophile. Okay, a now convicted pedophile. So I'm gonna play y'all 2 minutes of Trump at church, and I'm telling you, there is a convicted pedophile standing on stage with him. And even though I've already gave the answer away, god damn it, I done fucked my whole little bit up, but I don't care. We rolling. Y'all tell me, take a guess. Right and wrong answers accepted as to who the pedophile is on stage with Trump. And in this instance, I am not referring to Trump. So let's go to Spring, Texas, June of 2020, the Gateway Church. Go ahead, Latif. Thank you.
Important time in our country. A lot of things are happening, and I think when it all ends up, it's going to end up very good for everybody. It's an honor to be at Gateway Church with the Attorney General, our great Attorney General, William Barr. Thank you. And my friend Ben Carson, who's done a fantastic job at HUD, Secretary. And a young star, Jerome Adams, General. Where is Jerome? Jerome? Along with a lot of my friends out in the audience. In fact, a lot of the great political leaders from Texas, I see. Some great friends, and I want to thank you all for being here. Faith leaders, members of law enforcement, so important. We want law and order. We have to have a lot of good things, but we have to have law and order. Got to have some strength. You have to have strength. You have to do what you have to do. And you look at Seattle. We just came in. We just see over the screen, and we've been hearing about it. Bill and I were talking about it. The law and order. Look at what happened in Seattle. They took over a big city, Seattle. It's a chunk of it, a big chunk. Can't happen. That couldn't happen here, I don't think, in the state of Texas, could it? I don't think so. I don't think so. So I want to thank Pastors Robert Morris and Steve Dullen. They're great people. Great people with a great reputation, I have to say that. Great reputation. And Gateway Church, the team has been incredible in hosting us. And I'd now like to ask Pastor Morris and Bishop Jackson to lead us in prayer. Thank you.
Thank you. Lord, we need you. We need you at this time in our country. And I thank you for our president. I thank you, Lord, for our leaders. I thank you, thank you, thank you. I know in the Bible that when something was emphasized, it was repeated. Holy, holy, holy. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Lord, that we are about to bring tremendous progress to a problem that's been here for a long time. And I thank you for this administration. And Lord, we pray your blessings and your guidance today on this meeting in Jesus' name.
Jesus' name. Father, we thank you so much for what you're doing today.
Hanging out with my folks on the internet. Thank you all. Give the video a thumbs up, all that jazz. So did we guess? Which one of those upstanding fellows with an outstanding reputation, as Trump was blubbering on about, with the greatest of reputations? Really? How are we defining great reputations? Oh, okay. Just a little dalliances with pubescent girls, prepubescent girls, underage girls, little girls, not a colloquialism for a woman, little actual girl children. Okay, one of those fellows on screen is convicted of lewd and lascivious acts with a child. Did you guys guess which one? Did you guess which one? Well, we'll let the package tell you. Lateef, go ahead and fire that next clip, please. The news clip. Yes.
Morris, the founder of one of our nation's largest churches and a former spiritual advisor to President Trump, pled guilty to child sex assault charges. He entered that plea really moments ago here in this Oklahoma courthouse. In exchange, he received a 10-year sentence. The first 6 months of that will be served here in Osage County in jail. The remaining 9.5 years may be served as probation in the city of Dallas. We have been covering this criminal case since March, when Morris was indicted on 5 counts of lewd or indecent acts with a child for molesting a young girl here in Oklahoma 4 decades ago. He was facing up to 20 years in prison for each of those charges. But as part of this plea deal made today, he is receiving a reduced sentence. Again, 6 months behind bars. He will, though, have to register as a sex offender when he gets out.
Of the Gateway Church, former spiritual advisor to one Donald J. Trump, convicted of having raped. There's no other way to say it. I hate when people be like, he had an inappropriate relationship. No. He was raping a 12-year-old girl who is now in her 50s. And I gotta commend the prosecutors in this case, because we see usually a lot of reluctance from law enforcement and from prosecutors to pursue cases where there is little to no physical evidence, and these cases are sometimes decades, years old. So I appreciate them pursuing this, because my guess, as we know how pedophilia behavior goes, is that these people are compulsive. Like, they don't stop. Like, I'd be surprised if this woman, who was 12 at the time that Pastor Morris was assaulting her and abusing her, I would be shocked if she were his only victim. But you heard that right, gang. He was sentenced to 10 years in jail. He's going to do 6 months behind bars in Osage County, Oklahoma. Shout out to our folks out there in Oklahoma. And then he's going to do 9.5 years of probation, which means he will not be in jail, which means he will probably be under some sort of bullshit surveillance that him being a white Christian man with some status and some prominence at some point, they're probably going to go real easy on him for this probation. 9.5 years. And let that be yet another example, another overt in our face that this system doesn't give a fuck about getting pedophiles and sexual predators of children off the streets for any meaningful duration of time. Right? 6 months is a slap on the wrist. And you know what we hope happens to this gentleman while he is incarcerated? Maybe he won't make it out of Osage County. I don't know if he's in Osage County jail. Shout out to the bruvs locked down at David L. Moss Detention Center out there in Tulsa. They used to call me when I was on the radio. You have a collect call from an inmate at David L. Moss Detention Center. I used to take the calls too. The radio station would get mad, but I'm like, well, fuck it. They got through the call. Why not take the call? What anyway. But do something to him. Thanks so much. If you know anybody that knows somebody that is locked up in Osage County with this piece of shit, Robert Morris, is it, for the next 6 months? Yeah. Make sure he has the worst experience that he could ever imagine. Okay, because I really don't think the people of Texas are going to do what needs to be done with the man convicted and accused of doing such things, such heinous things to little girls. Sorry, Texas, y'all don't have the energy for pedophilia white men. I wish you did, though. I wish you did. Maybe those locked up with him in Oklahoma will have the energy. But that's Trump's boy, by the way. You think Trump's going to try to pull some strings to get him out sooner than 6 months? Possibly. My guess is that the Trump administration had their thumb on the scales of justice in this whole sentencing fiasco in the first place, right? Would be my guess. How the fuck you only get 6 months in jail? And he could have got 20 years, but he didn't. Nick, thank you so much for your Cash App support. I seriously appreciate it, y'all. $ BIDWKB at BIDWKB on Venmo, and of course, paypal.me/BIDWKB. So, had you guys heard that story that Trump's spiritual advisor was convicted on lewd and lascivious acts with a child? Y'all hadn't? Did they talk about? There's too much going on. Say again. Open Google Docs. Well, I'm so sorry to be the one that I don't even know to be sorry, because you guys know, this vein of stories, or these, these lanes of stories that I kind of find myself in are not like the pleasant places to be in your brain, right? But it's like, well, I feel like somebody got it. I mean, I'm not saying nobody is, but in case nobody is, please let me point out, because for some reason, mainstream white Americans, the racist ones specifically, really seem to think that they shit don't stink. and they seem to think that because they go to church, number one, that makes them good people. They think that they're going to church with good people. And worst of all, they assume that their pastor or their church leaders are themselves good people. These are bad assumptions to make. Okay. Especially if you've been paying attention to white evangelical Christian America. It is full of people with deep, dark secrets, issues, and problems. These people usually are never held accountable until they've been allowed to just run amok, sometimes for decades, right? It's wild shit. And racist white America, Trump, MAGA people, you're just fucking your own communities up by not holding pedophiles accountable, or looking the other way, or only expressing some faux bullshit outrage about, pedophiles in the Pizzagate and all this shit. It's like, y'all think that I don't give a fuck what y'all think. Let me move along here. So, speaking of MAGA country, so the next clip we're gonna go is the boy from New Jersey. Again, say again. Yeah. 17 you're not looking at the doc. That's okay. It is. I don't mind if you test it. Just test it. I'll tell you if it's the right one. Shout out to Lateef, y'all. Lateef is doing
about
work.
The deaths of two young girls.
Yep, that's it. Thank you so much. So yeah, let's cue that back, crank that back from the beginning. So I'm sure you guys have heard the story by now. I hope. Again, I don't like to be the bearer of shitty news, but people will only think that the crime is in certain communities and not in other communities. And it's important that we highlight these distinctions, and more importantly, these bogus contradictions about who are actually the perpetrators of crime. And we can gauge the ways in which law enforcement responds to the perpetrators, especially of gender-based crime, depending on the phenotype, the gender and race of the perpetrator. So at the start of the month, early October or late September, tragically, two girls who attended, I believe it's Cranford High School in New Jersey, were killed. They were riding their e-bikes home from a school event, and they were struck by someone driving a black Jeep SUV. And the person who hit them left the scene and was later apprehended. But it turns out the person that ran these two 17-year-old girls over, not only was this individual known to the girls and a classmate of these girls, one of the victims had a restraining order out on this person. And the police were well aware that this individual had been stalking at least one of the girls and harassing one of the girls. Do you think the police took all the appropriate steps to make sure that this individual who is now facing 2 counts of murder, do you think the police took the appropriate steps to make sure that the victims were being protected from this individual at all times? Do you think the parents of the alleged perpetrator was paying attention to what the fuck this motherfucker was doing? Oh, and turns out he was a fan of Charlie Kirk. Interesting. So anyway, let's run the package. I want to come back and discuss.
New details about the deaths of 2 young girls in New Jersey. It happened earlier this week. Maria Neotis and Isabella Salas, both 17 years old, were hit by a black SUV while riding on an electric bike on Monday. A teenage boy has been charged with murder with operating that vehicle, and there are now claims that he was stalking one of the girls.
On Thursday night, the family of Maria Neotis gathered to remember her life.
She had a laugh that could soften the hardest days, and a heart that cared deeply for everyone around her.
According to the Union County Prosecutor's Office, Neotis and fellow 17-year-old Isabella Salas were riding an e-bike around a quiet residential area of Cranford, New Jersey, just before 5:30 p.m. Monday afternoon, when they were struck by a car. Law enforcement says after hitting the girls, the driver did not stop and eventually ditched this black SUV. He was later located and taken into custody. Police charged him on Wednesday with 2 counts of first-degree murder. CBS News has identified the suspect as 17-year-old Vincent Batiloro. Friends and relatives of the victims say he was known to the 2 girls, claiming one of them filed for a restraining order against him after he stalked her.
She made complaints and nothing was done. It's just a tragedy. It's just a tragedy.
In a joint statement, the families of the 2 girls called the suspect a coward, claiming he had been planning an attack against Neotis for months.
You wanted to make the world more beautiful, and my darling, you did, just by being in it. And I promise you, your light will never go out.
We reached out to both the Cranford Police Department and the Union County Prosecutor's Office about the alleged restraining order against the suspect, but have not received further information. When asked if they plan to try the suspect as a minor or an adult, the prosecutor's office said that they are exploring all legal options.
For the 17-year-old who is basically a very good likely suspect as the one who ran over these 2 girls on an e-bike, killing them both. And the prosecutors are trying to decide as to whether or not to charge him with as an adult. Gang, do you think if he'd have been a 17-year-old black child? Gang, do you think if he'd have been a 17-year-old Latino child, would there be any hemming and hawing? Would there have been any delay? And to be clear here, I'm not necessarily in favor of charging teenagers as adults, even when it comes to murder. I spoke out against the murder charges against the 16-year-old who killed my brother. I'm just let y'all know I'm real about this shit. Like, I don't think you should be charging 16-year-olds with murder and throwing them away. But the system in which we inhabit, it happens all the time. And it happens disproportionately to black teens and brown teens. But for them to waver, to show uncertainty, reluctance even, hesitation. Well, we don't want to ruin young Vincent's life. Maybe we should charge him as a juvenile, give him a chance to rehabilitate himself. Considerations that are never offered up for black children. Never in the history. It just doesn't fucking happen. But anyway, I encourage you guys kind of go down a little rabbit hole if you can on this story, because there are other creators, content creators, who have gone down rabbit holes, because it turns out young Vincent was an avid gamer and a streamer of his gaming. And after he allegedly struck and killed Maria and Isabella, killing them, he went live. Hold on. Let me tell you how he was treated. They didn't even charge him initially with murder. He left the scene of the accident. When the police caught up with him, they let him go home. They let him go home. They knew that at minimum, as a result of his reckless actions behind the wheel, that he caused the death of 2 others, and they still let him go the fuck home. And this fucking this kid gets online and streams and talks about everyone. Y'all don't know all the circumstances, and there's more to the story. Turns out that this kid was a huge fan of Charlie Kirk. Turns out he had been harassing and stalking, I believe it was Maria, for at least 3 months now. Turns out he'd show up at her house, wait outside of he'd be parked on her street, according to neighbors, according to other reports that I saw given by neighbors, who said that, yeah, they'd seen him out front of the house, sitting there. Apparently, he would order pizzas and send them to her house. Some reports also indicate that that Maria may have spurned his advances. So he was doing all of this harassing and antagonizing of this girl because of rejection. I've seen other reports say that he pursued and tried to, he didn't try. He did run her over and kill her because that she had made some comment about Charlie Kirk. I said, I know that's not, I won't say it's not true, but it's deeper than that, right? Like whatever. And I don't know that she said anything about Charlie Kirk one way or the other, but if that was the story as to what his motivation was to run her down in the street, I knew that could not have been the sole reason, right? And it wasn't. This little piece of shit, not only was he suffering from rejection, right? Obviously, he's suffering from a lack of parenting, a lack of sufficient adult supervision. Among his charges include driving without a license. Okay, how'd he get the keys to the truck? This kid had a restraining order out against him. Where were his parents? Talk about when the races go on about black fathers. Well, where they don't have fathers in their homes. I bet you Vincent had mother and father in the home. Neither one of the motherfuckers watching this little dipshit. This homicidal maniac. Can't even say in training because I think when you've done the deed, you transition from amateur to professional, do you not? And at 17, Vincent has not 1 but 2 bodies under his belt. Wow, swinging for the fences, kid. Charlie Kirk taught you that? Are those the values you learned watching the content offered by Turning Point USA? Understand, the values are deeply askew in mainstream white American household. They are off. And in part because they don't want to watch their fucking kids, man. Please miss me every time complaining about black children breaking into cars and even stealing the fucking cars. You know what they're not doing? They're not running their classmates over. Let's interrogate the types of crimes that our children are doing, especially if we are going to use race as some sort of barometer or measuring stick. Let's assess the kinds of crimes that the white youth are doing versus what the black youth are doing versus what the brown youth are doing. Because they seem like very different crimes, wildly different crimes. And not to say that black children don't shoot people. They do. Or kill people. It happens. Absolutely. But then society will point back at the familial structure and use that as an example, as opposed to lack of resources or poverty. So what is Vincent's excuse? What's his fucking excuse? With his parents present, obviously the resources being met because he had access to a Jeep. What was the year of the Jeep? 2021. Okay. Poverty is not his issue. He was raised fucked up, possibly because his parents are fucked up. So there's that. Hold on. Let me get to my next story of the whites be wildin'. Thank you all so much for being here. I have no idea how many we have present, but however many we have present, I appreciate you. I surely do. And you guys, I'm going to talk about more substantive things coming up here. I just couldn't ignore this Caucasian crime spree. I couldn't ignore it. I couldn't ignore it. Especially not in the face of the white nationalist propaganda that's being spouted out of the mouths of the demons working at the White House. Because I'm like, are y'all even watching y'all people? Or like, I thought y'all watched Fox News. I thought Fox News was all white folks news. Like, how come white folks be confused? How come I be breaking news to the white folks about the white community, huh? Fox is not doing a proper job here. Fox want to tell you about what MS-13 and shit is doing. Fox need to be telling y'all about what the whites is doing. But see, Fox don't give a fuck about y'all. So, what clip we got next? Because I heard Will go through the clips. They were tiny bit out of order, but I wasn't going to quibble because it ain't that serious. We could play any clip. I'm ready for them all.
27th, 2025 at 9.
Okay, this is a good one. So this is actually, I'm gonna put a pin in Whites Be Wildin', and let me give a thumbs up to this is the energy we need from the whites. Now I want to give y'all a content and a trigger warning because you are going to see police brutality against an animal, against both a 17-year-old black teenage boy and his dog. Okay. Everybody survives to my awareness. But the dog does get injured by the police. So if shit like that makes you upset, like it makes me upset, I just wanted to give y'all the heads up that is what's coming. So this was recorded actually by a neighbor who I appreciate them documenting what happened in this instance and inserting themselves to the point that they are making the police aware of their presence and making the police aware that they are being observed and filmed. So definitely start that one from the beginning. So this creator starts the video by showing another white male neighbor watching this black teen boy play with a toy gun that clearly looks like a toy gun, not like a replica Glock or whatever. No, the shit is brightly colored. The kid is in his yard on his property playing with this toy, and the video creator observes another neighbor calling the police on this black boy. So I want you guys to see what happens next. So let's take a look at that clip, please.
On September 27th, 2025 at 9:44 p.m., I observed my white adult male neighbor watching and hiding behind a tree on the phone, calling the police on a black neighbor who was 17 years old playing with a gel Orbeez blaster. By 9:46, RPD had shot the family dog. They cornered my 17-year-old neighbor without his parents present. Officers can be seen reaching for their guns or hovering over them.
I'm back. I'm getting back. I'm getting back.
Why is your hand on your gun, sir? In the right side of this video, you can see taser lights pointed at my only other black neighbor that was on the porch this night.
Guys, he's a minor. He's under 18. Please stop. He's a kid. He's a child. Please stop.
Your fucking dog trying to bite me. Bro, she don't bite, but I know her, bro. You know her, I don't. It's a toy fucking gun, bro.
Guys, he's 17 years old. Please give him a little space.
Bro, I'm not related. Shot my fucking dog, bro. Damn. You shot a real gun. Bro, y'all got a taser for a fucking reason, bro. I'm not tasing the fucking dog. It's about to bite me.
Can I ask what's going on, please? Just step back a little bit from the place. Can I please know what's going on? I live right down the street. He's 17 years old. No, you don't. We're not talking to you about that.
It was very important to them to continue shining flashlights into the lens of my camera and to ask me to go at least 4 houses down, in their words. It's important to note that me and another Caucasian adult male were on the porch that night and never had weapons pointed at us. In this video, you can see officers searching the home. After they opened the door, the dog apparently had barked and run towards them and been shot. They did not have a warrant to search the home, and they did not get granted permission to open the door or enter the premises.
Well, y'all really killed my fucking dog, bro. The dog's alive. Alright, Dad. She want to talk to you. Yeah. She better than you're in my scene. I already asked you to step away.
Give me 4 houses down. Okay, keep pushing. Alright, sorry. So it's an active crime scene, so we're going to try to run as much tape as possible.
They had roped off the entire block, and squad cars were rolling in. There were about 5 cars, and it steadily increased.
Dog okay? Huh? Is the dog okay?
Animal control is coming. The dog is alive.
Okay.
More officers continued to arrive at the scene, even though the only shot that had rang out was from RPD. This is the officer acting out what happened to his coworkers. Animal control did not arrive to the scene.
But I think they said that the video, the creator says that the animal control arrived to the scene and took the dog to get treatment. I am not clear whether or not the dog survived, but the dog was alive, leaving the scene of the shooting. And I wanted to show you guys that video, I think, for a couple of reasons. Number one, Black children don't literally have to be doing anything besides minding their business, existing, being on their own property, playing with their property, playing with their dog, for police to roll up, well, rather, for a white person to summon the executioners to a Black person's property where no laws are being broken. Nothing illegal is happening. But a white person who does not like the sound of Black children enjoying themselves, the Black boy joy sounds of a boy and his dog playing, was too much for this fucking cracker to deal with. So he had to call the police and say what? You guys know that's how Tamir Rice was murdered, right? Some fucking cracker called the police, said Tamir had a BB gun or had a gun, was playing with a gun. In Ohio, which is an open carry state, Tamir Rice was breaking no laws. Police showed up and within 6 seconds executed 12-year-old Tamir Rice on the scene. That very easily could have happened to that young man in that video. And fuck Richmond police. I believe this is Richmond, Virginia police. So Richmond police, a special fuck you. A double fuck you to that bitch ass Black fucking cop who was so scared of a dog protecting its home and its domicile, as the dog is supposed to do. So if the details presented by this creator are accurate, the police were attempting to illegally enter and search the residence of this 17-year-old who is obviously not the owner of the house. Again, what was the pretext? What was the probable cause for police to want to enter this home? Only shot fired was by the fucking bitch ass cop. And for that bitch ass cop to be like, I didn't know the fucking dog wasn't going to bite me, I had to shoot it. You fucking pussy, you little soft and scrotum skin bitch. Anybody living in RVA, y'all, what? Don't be dating these pigs. No pussy, no boy pussy for these fucking pigs. Are we clear? You don't want no man like that anyway. Any fucking man is going to pull out a pistol and shoot a dog because the dog barked. You soft as scrotum skin, Mo. You in the wrong line of work. You need to be with ICE. I'm furious. I'm incensed. But I appreciate the documentation, and that's what I wanted to share in part, was the energy. White folks, y'all been slacking for quite a while. It's okay. Some could say it may be argued that white people have been dragging down progress for quite a long time. You got some splaining to do. You've got some making up to do. And at the very minimum, you can be an ally for good. You can at least observe. You can at least make these pigs aware of your white presence and that white people are watching. Okay. It makes a difference. It can. All right. So I want to applaud the creator for peeping game. You understand? I appreciate he peeped the fucking nosy cracker neighbor off the rip, hiding behind a tree, watching the little boy like a fucking weirdo and calling the police. I appreciate the white creator having that presence of mind to understand that the child was in danger just off the word of a white man. Just like Emmett Till was in danger off the word of Carolyn Bryant. Like, this is real shit that happens in America. White people possess that power. Their word can summon the executioners. All right. And if you are a white that does not operate that way, that you understand that police are not customer service, when black people are not behaving in the way that suits you, you know, if you are not that white person, thank you. Thank you. And we need you to be a check against the crackers that will call the police on black people and brown people for absolutely fucking nothing. You have to be there. What I tell y'all gotta shit is like He-Man and what was the He-Man's no, who was He-Man's nemesis? Who was his op? Skeletor. I'm saying Skeletor wasn't nicer than He-Man. And some of these Karens and Kens be absolutely looking like Skeletors. So we need our moisturized white allies to come out here and raise up them voices, raise up them cameras, document all of that shit, and put your whiteness against their shit. And by the way, police, they do listen to white people more, okay? I cannot verify that through any scientific qualitative research, but in my lived experience, I've seen it work quite a bit. Police will be jaw, rah, rah, rah. Let a white approach. Officer, is there a problem? Can I talk? Can I speak to you for a second, officer? Oh, that's why you got to have a white man around somewhere, a real one. You know what I'm saying? You got to go talk to the cops. James, them crackers, don't let them crackers get you down, James. I knew it was some crackers. Shout out to James. Don't let them get you down, baby. You're going to be all right. We got some ice to melt in Chi-Town. Where am I going here next, y'all? You know what? I really just have a bunch of pedophile stories that I don't feel like bringing to you right now. Look, what's up? Mr. Troll, I don't know where you go for unbiased news. Do you go to Fox? Do you go to OANN? Do you go to Charlie Kirk? Do you go to Matt Walsh? Like, what the fuck are you even talking about? Clearly biased. Yes, I am fucking biased. I'm biased in favor of black people. I'm biased in favor of women. Hell, I'm biased in favor of the gays, okay? Because the gays make life spicy and exciting and fun and interesting, okay? I'm biased in favor of disabled people. I'm biased in favor of poor people. What is this objectivity that doesn't exist on any news media platform or pundit platform or creator platform? Where is this utopia that you think you live in? Where do you think you live? You're in America. You are in one of the most propagandized places on the planet. Okay? North Korea ain't got shit on American propaganda. China ain't got shit on American propaganda. Russia ain't got shit on American propaganda. So the fuck are you talking about? And the problem is you don't even fucking know. You just came in here to pop a little shit and go on about your merry way. Go on and burn a cross in somebody else's chat, sir. We've met our burnt cross quota for the month. Thank you so much. Miss Anna. What's her name? I'm sorry. Cat lady Anna. Oh, Anise. Anansi. It is a one thing Anansi can understand. Here's the thing, Nancy. There are not a lot of real men that we like to think of the prototype of masculine, brave, courageous. There are very few. Fortunately, several of them are my viewers. And we do got some real men amongst us, thank the Lord. Because we don't ain't no bitch ass niggas allowed over here, Fire Fan. We clear on that, right? You cannot be a bitch nigga over here. You're not welcome. So there's that. But no, so these cops, these hegsefs, these bitches are soft as scrotum skin. Nancy, please take that out into the world and use that. Tell a bitch ass nigga he is soft as scrotum skin and watch him melt down. He'll love it. And that's the thing. So these bitch ass cops, yes, they are soft as scrotum skin. Yes, they are the most armed, the most trained, and yeah, they will still shoot a dog that barks and growls at them when they knew not to come in the fucking house in the first place. Pussy. Oh, that's so pussy. Like, oh, and you guys know, Anansi may not know, and some of our newer viewers may not know, but I had a similar experience with my dog, Breezy. Rest in power to the goddess, Breezy. I told you PG County cops threatened to shoot my dog in front of me. And guess what, y'all? It would have ended very badly for them, okay? If something would have happened to Breezy at the barrel of a gun of a police, which one of them horror movies where them niggas get picked off one by one? That shit would have been Final Destination, okay? It would have been Final and it would not have mattered to me how many years it took. It would have been, and then we plucked them one by one, and then we plucked them two by two, Let has something happen to Breezy at the hands of a pig. It would have been Final Destination for all them niggas one way or the other. But fortunately, Breezy lived a long life and transitioned naturally. Okay, so them piggies can breathe a sigh of relief. Anyway, I'm going to push off here, gang. I love yous. I appreciate y'all's being patient with me. You might see me on the morning show tomorrow. I'm not sure what they're doing. I think schedules, a situations will arise. So I don't know. Let me reach out and see. No, I don't feel like talking about the clips because I'm irritated with my content. Because it's like I could show y'all the fucking white men that have been arrested for possession of ridiculous amounts of child sex abuse materials and their positions in society. I think one was worked with the Catholic Church and was also like a youth sports coach, and another one is a doctor out of Boise, Idaho, who has been charged with rape, and police think that he's probably raped a bunch of other people. So, but me presenting these white sexual predators to you is almost like water is wet. You know what I'm saying? Like, we know who the monsters are, okay? We know who are the demographic overwhelmingly causing harm to women and children in society as a whole. Okay. And the reason I bring you all these stories is to remind folks, because again, the news will show you these children stealing cars and doing some a little armed robbery. I'm saying, I'm not trying to make light of armed robbery, but you understand. Whereas these white kids, god damn, and these white people, these white men, a white man hasn't found a denomination of a church in America that he won't shoot up. Okay. That's not us. That's them doing that. Who taking shots at Trump? Black Lives Matter? Who took a shot at Trump? Who the fuck out here shooting at Trump? I need white America to be honest with itself, and it refuses to do that. So fine, if I piss off a couple of saltines in this bitch, I don't give a fuck. Okay? Whoever said that they're watching me with this biased news. Okay, well, what news do you watch that's unbiased? KKK Caroline? at the White House, at the press briefing room. Get the fuck out of here. Like, I need people to be honest, and they refuse to be, and they won't be. And I have run out of patience for tonight. So anyway, gang, we will see y'all back here on a Friday. Appreciate my wonderful mods. Thank you so much to Sweary Furry. Thank you so much to Donnie Bird. Hold on. Peace to Schultzy. Peace. Yes, big up to James. James, they said that you got fired for insubordination. I said, James is one of my viewers. That if you gotta go, go out with your middle fingers up, James. Insubordination. I have been suspended and fired for both. So I can relate and I respect it. I respect it. Insubordination is one of my favorites to get let go behind. That, yes, that James, your name is Kunta. It is not Toby, okay? That's insubordination, all right? You saying 10 toes down, your name is Kunta and not Toby. That is what the fucking crackers consider insubordination. You be insubordinate. You be a drapetomaniac. Yes. So anyway, thank you. Thank you, Schultzy. Thank you, guys. So do me a favor, y'all. Like the video. I don't know what YouTube be doing out here. Haters dislike the video too. Engagement is engagement. I do not give a goddamn. Okay. You're not hurting my feelings at all. Okay. With your dislikes. I don't give two shits. So anywho, I need y'all to be safe. Shout out to Court. Thank you to Latif. Thank you to Tyler, my son. Thank you to Chuck Diesel. Thank you to everybody. Holly Horn, lovely lady. Thank you all so much for coming through. Don't forget, subscribe to Black Liberation Media and tune into the Remix Morning Show tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. I'll holla at y'all. Bye.